Courtney, and today you're joining me for a look at some new summer releases. If you're new here, welcome. Thanks so much for checking out my channel. Check out other things on my page and my content to see if this is a channel you'd like to subscribe to. We would love to have you. If you're returning, thanks so much for coming back. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and hit the bell for notifications. And if you are interested in getting a few perks, become a member. We are just wrapping up our first month's book club. I'm reaching out to members to pick a day to connect and find a forum on how to connect. And this month we read Passion Project. And so we'd love to have more people involved with that. So I decided to make this video because I believe at the beginning of the year I did a video about anticipated releases. I feel like 2025 was a huge year for new releases. But that was a long time ago and I don't even remember what I put in there. So I wanted to highlight some summer ones that are coming out. Now I read everything from romance to cozy mysteries to literary fiction, a couple of thrillers, fantasy, romantasy. And so my genre palette is pretty broad. I've really deep dove into literary fiction in the past couple years and have really enjoyed that. This list is going to be mostly romance though, because for me literary fiction is hard to pick out as an anticipated release. I really have to look at the book, the characters, kind of what the plot line is, and so I can't necessarily say I'm excited about a certain literary fiction that's coming out until I actually see it. Not to mention, since I'm still sort of new into the genre, I literally am picking up a lot of back cataloged items and checking them out. So this is going to be mostly romance, but I have some fantasy in there as well and a mystery, and so I would love for you to stick around and check out some books that I'm excited for. Okay, the first book I'm excited for is The Fallen and the Kiss of Dusk by Carissa Broadbent. This is book number 4 in the Crowns of Nyaxia series. Now, have I read book 3 yet? Technically, no. And I'm still excited about this series. I'm going to get to 3 and I'll get to 4. This book comes out August 5th. And so if you are reading this series, get excited. On Goodreads, it already has a 4.32 rating, which is pretty high. It says, Mish made the ultimate sacrifice to save those she loves and plunged the world into an eternal night. Now imprisoned by the gods and obsessed with revenge, Asar is desperate to find her again. When a goddess offers them a final path to redemption and back to each other, Asar and Mish embark on an extraordinary mission. Together they must seize the power of the god of death so Asar may do the impossible, ascend to true divinity. Their journey will take them through mortal and immortal realms, alongside both old friends and ruthless enemies. But as the underworld teeters on the brink of collapse and the gods prepare for a war, Asar and Mish must decide what they're willing to sacrifice for the power to defy death. In a game of vengeful gods and ancient betrayals, there are some debts that even love may not be able to repay. So this looks like a good follow-up into the series. It's hard to talk about series if you haven't been reading it, and I read book 2 probably 2 years ago, and so part of not going into book 3 has been trying to get back into the world. But what I do remember is that Carissa Broadbent made the book very readable. So I do like fantasy, but I'm not a high fantasy girl, so it needs to be still relatable and down to earth. I need to know how to say the names and the places and all those things. If it's too abstract, I'm out. So I do like that part of her writing, and this is a fantasy romantasy. It goes into vampires, paranormal, and it's 576 pages, so it's a chunky one, but it sounds good. Next, I'm looking to read How to Sell a Romance by Alexa Martin. This book comes out July 15th. This one just came up. I don't remember seeing it at the beginning of the year, which is why it's so good to do this mid-year to check out what's coming out in this part of the year. So Alexa Martin has written a few books that I really liked, and I like her overall style of writing. This one says, Emerson Pierce loves everything about being a kindergarten teacher except the painfully low salary. It isn't until she hears about Petunia Lemon, an opportunity to sell makeup products, make some extra money, and meet a group of skincare aficionados, that she begins to see the light at the end of the tunnel. Sure, it sounds a little too good to be true, but what's the worst that could happen? Oh no. Investigative reporter Lucas Miller didn't always have a chip on his shoulder until his wife joined Petunia Lemon, drained their savings, and filed for divorce. Now he's a little bitter, a lot single, and determined to expose the company after infiltrating their largest convention yet. The last thing he expects is to lose sight of his mission for one night with the gorgeous woman at the bar. When Emerson and Lucas learn that she's his daughter's teacher, they decide to ignore their scorching chemistry, until things with Petunia Lemon turn downright diabolical and Emerson turns to Lucas for help. They work together to bring the company down, but can the two come out on top in this pyramid scheme of love, Oh, I love that. So I saw the cover, I saw the author, I was like, I'm here for it. I did not read the back yet, and so that sounds really good. This has a 3.96 rating so far on Goodreads. It is 384 pages. Like I said, it comes out July 15th. I love this premise. Sometimes with romance, what throws me off is a lot of times the premises are very much the same. Romance has a general plot arc, we know this, but when it's literally all the same, I get worn out. But I love the idea of bringing in the pyramid scheme. I love the idea of her being a teacher, as I'm an educator, used to be in the classroom, not anymore, not in a school building at all anymore. And I like that they have so many connections with the Petunia Lemon, and she's his daughter's teacher, so it's just going to be kind of messy. And I love Alexa Merton's writing. Did I do a makeup pyramid scheme before? I have. Did I know I was being schemed? No. But I think we've all been there. If you're about my age, you've tried to sell something online before. So I'm excited to read that. Next up, I'm looking forward to read Overruled by Lana Ferguson. I did ask for an e-arc of this. I didn't get it, and that's fine. But this comes out July 1st, currently has a 4.18 star rating. It says, Danica Pierce has one great love in her life, work. As one of the top divorce lawyers in Austin, Danica lets her caseload keep her warm at night and has no problem being married to her job. Not when love only ends in hurt. When the biggest case of her career gives her a shot at making partner, it seems like nothing could possibly stand in her way except for her infuriating secret. She's sleeping with the enemy. Ezra Hart is known for charming his way in and out of a courtroom. In the matter of winning Danica Pierce's heart, however, he's been far less successful. With her verdict to keep things purely physical with no chance of appeal, Ezra struggles to show Danica he's more than the insufferable playboy she's pegged him to be, especially since they find themselves on opposing sides of Danica's most important case to date. While Danny and Ezra battle it out in the courtroom, the real trial is the one happening between them. When Danny realizes that everything she knows of Ezra might be hearsay and that she's not the only one with emotional baggage, she must choose between her fear of trusting again and the feelings blossoming between her and the man she thought was her worst enemy. Okay, so cute, standard Lana Ferguson sort of enemies to lovers. I do like her books. 432 pages. And yeah, I think it'll be pretty good. Next up, I would like to read Battle of the Bookstores by Ali Brady. This book is due June 3rd, so coming up, and it has 4.35 stars on Goodreads right now. It says, despite managing bookstores on the same Boston street, Josie Klein and Ryan Lawson have never interacted much. Josie's store focuses on serious literature and Ryan's sells romance only. But when the owner of both stores decides to combine them, the two are thrust into direct competition. Only one manager will be left standing, decided by who turns the most profit over the summer. Efficient and detail-oriented Josie instantly clashes with easygoing and disorganized Ryan. Their competing events and contrasting styles lead to more than just frustration. The sparks between them might just set the whole store on fire. Their only solace during this chaos is the friendship they've each struck up with an anonymous friend in an online book forum. Little do they know they're actually chatting with each other. As their rivalry heats up in real life, their online relationship grows, and when the walls between their stores come tumbling down, Josie and Ryan realize not all's fair in love and war. And maybe, if they're lucky, happily ever afters aren't just for the books. Okay, this has 432 pages. This reminds me very much of the movie You've Got Mail with Meg Ryan and Tom Hanks. Such a cute movie. I also like the trope when the background or the setting is the bookstores, because we're all bookish people, so anything in a library and a bookstore I'm here for. I love the sort of enemies to lovers thing, and I'm sure we'll get lots of book recs somewhere in the storyline. Next, I want to read Worth Fighting For by Jessie Q. Sutanto. You might know some of her books. She does some YA, middle grade, she does mysteries, and she does some thrillers, but this is part of the Meant to Be series. This is book number 5 in that series. This is basically Disney princess or fairy tale retellings, and this is the Mulan retelling. I did get this as an ARC and really enjoyed it, so it's definitely worth it. It says, laugh and swoon with the next book in Disney's Meant to Be collection by Jessie Q. Sutanto. It says, as the right hand of her father's hedge fund company, Fa Mulan knows what it takes to succeed as a woman in a man's work in a man's work twice as hard but twice as smart, and burp twice as loud as any of the other finance bros she works with. So when her father unexpectedly falls ill in the middle of a critical acquisition, she's determined to see it through. There's just one problem. The family company in question is known for its ultra-masculine whiskey brand and the brood of old-fashioned aunts, uncles, and cousins who run it, led by the dedicated but overworked Shang. And they'll only trust Mulan's father, Fa Zhao, with the future of their business. Rather than fail the deal and her father, Mulan pretends she's Fa Zhao, since they've only corresponded over email. How hard could it be to keep things moving in his absence? But the email leads to a face-to-face meeting, which leads to an invitation to a week-long retreat at Shang's family ranch. One meeting she can handle, but a whole week of cattle wrangling, axe throwing, and learning proper butchering techniques, all while trying to convince Shang's dubious family that this young woman is the powerful hedge fund CEO they've been negotiating with? Not so much, especially as she finds it harder and harder to ignore the undeniable spark between her and Shang. So what I really loved about this book was the spin on Mulan. Obviously, if you've watched Mulan, it's based on war and battle, and now we're at a different sort of battle. It's a corporate battle, and so I loved that spin on it, and like I said, I read it. I think it's a great book, and especially if you're in that series, those standalone series, definitely worth it. Okay, coming out on July 15th is Lynn Painter's Made for Each Other. I actually just finished Lynn Painter's The Wish Switch, and I'll be talking about that in my wrap up on Monday. But I love Lynn Painter as her writing, and she's really branching out to so many different types of stories. So this one says Abby is a professional cleaner, so it's ironic when she's forced to move out because of an infestation in her building. Thanks, Apartment 2B. Declan is a busy man working his way up at Hathaway Holdings, which is why he's never met the woman who cleans his penthouse every week. Abby needs a place to stay and Declan's out of town, so the solution seems simple and crucially free. When Declan's parents tell him they met his girlfriend at his apartment, he's surprised to say the least, but it is nice to have them off his back after being single for a change. Declan finds out who Abby really is and decides to make her pretend date him, and he'll provide everything she needs. What could go wrong? This is Fake Dating, Forced Proximity. 368 pages. I think the fake dating trope is a bit overdone, but Lynn Painter is an auto-buy author for me, so I'm definitely going to read it. Okay, here's an author I have not heard of before. Her name is Lizzie Damilola Blackburn. She is writing the book The Rewrite that comes out August 12th, and this says Tammy and Wale meet in London. They flirt, date, meet each other's friends, then Wale dumps Tammy to go on Love Villa. Instead of giving in to heartbreak, Timmy throws herself into her writing. She's within touching distance of a book deal that would solve all her problems, but publishers keep passing on her novel and bills still have to be paid. So when the opportunity to ghostwrite a celebrity autobiography arises, Timmy finds herself accepting. And of course, the celebrity turns out to be Wale. Has too much time passed, or is just enough to spark a whole new kind of relationship? And this is, the cover is adorable, 288 pages. Contemporary romance, fiction, enemies to lovers are the tags on it. It is set in London, which is so weird to me. It's like as soon as I know it's set in London, I'm immediately like thrown off. And so I'm going to push through because this sounds really good, and I gotta dig in. If you are an Annabelle Moynihan fan, you're in luck. Her new book, It's a Love Story, comes out this week, May 27th. And I got this as an e-arc, and it was so good. This book follows Jane and Dan. And Jane is a screenwriter. She was a child teen actress, but she was sort of like the Screech on Saved by the Bell. Like she was the butt of all the jokes. So she's working hard in this firm. She's trying to get a story greenlit. And she is constantly battling her sort of enemy, Dan, and trying to get her screenplay greenlit. She says that she knows the pop star Jack Quinlan, and that she can get him to write the song for the show. And from there, it kind of goes off and it rolls. Dan's hometown is Long Island, and that's where Jack is performing. And so Jane and Dan end up spending a lot of time in Dan's hometown, and then you could see where it's going. So it's very summery. It has a good plot line and story. I love the way Annabelle Moynihan writes her characters. So again, another great summer read, and it's almost out, so you can get it literally in a few days. This has 368 pages and it already has 4.25 stars on Goodreads, so you know it's good. Have you ever pre-ordered a book and then forgot you pre-ordered it? Because that just happened when I looked up the book Problematic Summer Romance by Ali Hazelwood. This is part of the Not in Love series. This is book number 2. I actually saw this book as I was researching for this video, and I was like, this looks so cute. And I went on my Kindle and I'd already pre-ordered it. So it will be in my Kindle library on Tuesday, the 27th. So this is another one that's coming out. It says Maya Gilcour is 23 and still in the process of figuring out her life. Connor Harkness is 38 and Maya cannot stop thinking about him. It's such a cliche, it almost makes her heart implode. Older man and younger woman, successful biotech guy and struggling grad student, brother's best friend, and the girl he never even knew existed. As Connor loves to remind her, the power dynamic is too imbalanced. Any relationship between them would be problematic in too many ways to count. And Maya should just get over him. After all, he has made it clear that he wants her gone from his life. But not everything is as it seems, and cliches sometimes become plot twists. When Maya's brother decides to get married in Taormina, she and Connor end up stuck together in a romantic Sicilian villa for a week. There, on the beautiful Ionian coast, between ancient ruins, delicious foods, and natural caves, Maya realizes that Connor might be hiding something from her, and as the destination wedding begins to erupt out of control, she decides that a summer fling might be just what she needs, even if it's a problematic one. Oh my gosh, this sounds so good. Now, Ali Hazelwood has had a couple of hits and misses with her journey to like some paranormal romance, but this one sounds so cute. First of all, I'm a sucker for a brother's best friend trope. It's messy, it's long-standing. I love that trope. And I like that they are stuck in the villa because I would love to go to Italy. I think this whole backdrop is amazing and I'm so here for it. I love the power dynamic as well, and I love that he's absolutely like not here for it. He does not want it to happen. So this one hits. So I cannot wait to start reading that one on Tuesday. And this is 416 pages, but it seems like it's totally worth it. It seems like it's better than Deep End because that's the last one I read from her. This has 4.43 stars on Goodreads right now. Next on my list is The Game is Afoot by Elise Bryant. I read my first Elise Bryant book, was it earlier this year or at the end of last year? It's Elementary, and I was so pleasantly surprised by this book. It was the cutest mystery that I wasn't expecting. This book comes out July 8th, and it already has 4.57 stars on Goodreads. And it says, after rage quitting her job, Mavis finally has time to get all the rest she's been putting off. Or she would have the time, hypothetically, except she's taken on a new supermom. Her hours are filled with chauffeuring her daughter, Pearl, around to extracurricular activities, somehow ending up class mom and investigating another mystery. When Coach Cole, the director of the kids' soccer program, drops dead on a sunny Saturday morning, no one suspects foul play. However, the police soon discover something suspicious left on the field, making it clear that someone had it in for the coach. But who? Sure, parents got mad when he made their precious star athletes sit on the bench, but not that mad. Mavis is determined to find out, even if it takes her into the dark, dangerous underbelly of gentle parents and MLM girl bosses. Oh, another pyramid scheme. Plus, it's an easy distraction from everything else going on, like the panic attacks she keeps brushing off, or the fact that she's unemployed and totally lost as to what her purpose and path in life should be. And then there's her ex-husband, who's back in town and doing everything she's ever wanted, just as she's beginning a new relationship. Mavis knows a murder investigation probably isn't the self-care she needs right now, but how exactly are you supposed to take care of yourself when you don't even know who you are anymore? Oh my gosh, that sounds so good. The thing about this is that I must have missed it in the first book, but the mystery kind of just rolled up on me. I didn't realize it was a mystery book, and it ended up being such a good, cozy mystery. So this is book number 2 in the Mavis Miller series, and so we're still in the backdrop of the school. 368 pages. I would say these are standalones. You don't need to possibly have read the first one, but I do recommend the first one. It's Elementary. It was so good. I imagine there's some connection between the two as cozy mysteries build from each other, so it wouldn't hurt you to read it. And you have time, because again, this comes out July 8th, so pick up It's Elementary and get ready for The Game is Afoot. Okay, I just have 2 more. You guys are hanging on good. Thanks so much. Okay, next up I have The Glorious Rivals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This is part of the Grandest Games, book number 2. Now, I will say, in my opinion, Jennifer Lynn Barnes has kind of fallen off. It's not necessarily what I've been looking for. It's never as good as the Inheritance Games, the first 3, but I'm still going to pick it up. This book comes out July 29th, has 4.48 stars on Goodreads. And it says 7 players arrived on Hawthorne Island, each with their own secrets and motivations to win the grandest game. Millions are at stake, but so are hearts and lives. The players now must race to win the game, solve myriad mysteries, and survive the twists and turns of glorious rivals. So again, we're just continuing on with this sort of mystery that's going on in the game. It's labeled as a mystery thriller. I think if you've read a Jennifer Lynn Barnes book, you kind of know what you're getting. And I just hope it gets better because I really do like her. I love a series. Like when I know what to read next automatically, I'm like top tier, chef's kiss. And so I really hope this one is a lot better. Okay, the last book that I'm excited to talk about in this video is Rose in Chains by Julie Soto. This is part of the Evermore trilogy, and this is book number 1. Now, you might know Julie Soto from some romance books. She wrote Forget Me Not and a couple of others, but she's dipping her toe into the romantasy field, and it looks like it's getting some good reviews. This book comes out July 8th. It has 4.45 stars already, and it's about 1,000 ratings, so I feel like it's good. Julie Soto in general, I like her books, and so to get into a romantasy series, I'm here for it. It says the war is over, the dark forces have won, and the hero who was supposed to save them is dead. Captured as her castle is overrun by the enemy, Bryony Rosewood knows that the world as she knows it is changed forever. The dark forces of Baumard have won, and her people, the Eversons, face imminent servitude, imprisonment, or death. Her brother, fated to be heir twice over and unite the warring kingdoms, is dead. Stripped of her mind magic and her freedom, Bryony and the other survivors are quickly auctioned off to the highest bidders in an auction. And as the heir apparent's sister, she fetches the highest price. After a fierce bidding war, she's sold to no other than Tovin, a high-ranking Baumard son, and her long-time and ill-fated infatuation. Scion of a family known for their cruel control of heart magic, the Hearsts are ruthlessly ambitious, and Bryony knows that they will use her however they can to further their own interests. Yet, despite the horrors of her new world and the role she must learn to play within it, all is not lost. Help and hope may yet arise in the most unlikely of places. I'm here. I'm up. This is 464 pages. It definitely is romantasy. It's giving enemies to lovers. It's giving they're gonna have to pair up and like figure some stuff out. So I am excited to dig into that. Again, that's July 3rd. So get ready for that. So those are the books that I'm looking forward to picking up in the next few months. I feel like summer is a perfect time to read. Kids are out of school. Hopefully your job and work is a little bit lighter in the summer and you just have more daylight and energy to do the things that you want to do, which will include tearing down your TBR lists. If you like any of these books, check them out on Goodreads for yourself. Add them to your pre-ordered cart, whether you're getting them from Amazon, Kobo, adding them to your Kindle, pre-ordering on Barnes, whatever you want to do, get them ready so that you are ready to jump in as soon as they hit the market. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.